Hello and welcome, I'm the Cyber Viking, and this is Brooklyn99.
99!
Thank you very much, Terry. In this one, we've got insecure protocols, we've got steganography, and we've got multiple different routes to getting that all-elusive root flag. Let's take a look. So, here we are on TryHackMe. Let's have a look at what we've got for this box. This room is aimed for beginner-level hackers, but anyone can try to hack this box. There are two main intended ways to root the box. If you find more, DM me in the Discord. All right. So, we are up and ready to go. So, let's get the good old nmap on the go. So, nmap, tac SC for scripts, tac SV for versioning, tac V for verbose, so we can see what's going on. And then we'll paste you in there. Let's have a look. So immediately I can see already we've got port 21, which is FTP, File Transfer Protocol. 22, which is your SSH, Secure Shell. Let's come back up again. And then port 80 for HTTP. Let's see what we can see. So the FTP, oh dear, unfortunately, well, fortunately for us, it is allowing anonymous login. That's not very clever. And we can see there is something, note2jake.txt. Excellent. We'll look at that in just a moment. SSH as expected, and port 80 for HTTP. All right. So let's take a look at that FTP first, shall we? So FTP, going there. We're going to be logging in using anonymous. We don't need to use a password if we're using anonymous, so we'll just hit enter there, and we are in. Let's have a look. And as expected, there is the note2jake. Now, because this is just for file transfer, we can't read that note within the FTP, but we can download it to our side. So we just say get note2jake.txt. There we go, and we can exit out of view. All right, so there it is. So let's have a look at what you have got to say for yourself. From Amy, Jake, please change your password. It is too weak and Holt will be mad if someone hacks into the 99. Oh dear, Jake, have you not been paying attention? All right, well, let's see just how weak that password is, shall we? Let's try and get Hydra against it. So, Hydra, we'll be using flag of tac lowercase l, because we're just using one single username, and that's going to be Jake. And then we're going to be using uppercase P, because we're going to be using a password list. That's going to be good old RockU. So user share word lists RockU. And then what are we actually attacking? We are going for SSH. And that's over there. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of verbose so we can see what's going on while it's doing it. And that is that. Let's see what Hydra can make of it. And almost immediately, we have a password of 987654321. Lovely. We'll just give that a couple of seconds to finish up what it's doing. There we are. That's that done. So we can clear that off. So let's go for SSH, shall we? So that'll be Jake at there. Do you want to continue connecting? Yes, I do. And his password is 987654321. And there we are. We're in.
Oh, cool. Cool. No doubt.
Okay, well, let's have a little look around and see what we can see. Where are we? We are in Jake's directory. What have you got for us? Nothing particularly useful there. Let's come back out and see what else we've got. We have Amy, Holt, and Jake. Let's see, we can get into any of them. Let's start at the top, shall we? So, CD, Amy. What have you got? Again, nothing leaping out at this point. So let's have a look at Holt. What have you got? And there we have a user.txt. Lovely. Let's cat that user.txt. And there we are. Marvelous. Right. Let's copy you. Let's put you in there. Fantastic. All right, so now let's continue the hunt and let's see if we can get that root flag. That's normally going to be in the root directory, so we're going to have to escalate our privileges. So, good place to start is seeing what privileges we have already. So if we do sudo tech L, and let's see. Jake can run the following commands on Brooklyn99, all no password user bin less. So what does that mean? That means that Jake can run the less command as root, as sudo. In fact, anywhere. So if we do a little bit of guesswork here, normally the root flag is going to be in the root directory, and it's going to be called root.txt. So if we say sudo less root, so essentially what we are saying is pretend I'm root and run the less command, which is a read file command, on the root directory on root.txt. And there it is. And we have our flag. Let's grab you. Let's drop you in over here. And there we are. Lovely. Now, we could leave it there, but there is nothing that we could do. In that case, all we did was we just took advantage of the privileges that he'd been given. How about we use them to actually become root? For that, what we can do is we can use a lovely resource called GTFO bins. It's right here. And if we have a look, because we already know, once we come out of here, using Q, by the way, I always forget that one, we can see that Jake can run less as sudo. So let's see what GTFO bins has to say about that. We say go to less. We go all the way down and we know that he's got sudo. So if the binary is allowed to run as a super user by sudo, which we know it can, it does not drop the elevated privileges and maybe use to access the file system, escalate or maintain privilege access. So what we can do is we can just copy and paste this lot in here. And, it does all sorts of messy stuff. And let's have a look. If we say, who am I? And look at that. We're root. And with that, we can quite happily go into the root directory and get the root.txt. So let's exit out of that. There we are. So we're back to you. Now, that's 2 ways in one root. Now let's try the other route, because we have a web app to look at. So let's exit out of there, and we'll clear you off. And let's come back over here. Let me just re-grab the IP address. And let's have a look at what we've got going on here. Okay, we have a very large picture of the Brooklyn99 squad. Well, as always with a web app like this, I always like to have a look at the page source and see what we've got. And a little scan through, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that lovely green there of a comment that's been left behind. Have you ever heard of steganography? Well, I have. Steganography is hiding one thing inside another. In this case, I'm going to guess this picture might have something more going on to it than we think. So let's open that in a new tab, and then what we can do is we can save that, and we will save you in here. That's Brooklyn99 JPEG, lovely, save. So let's come back over here. Okay, so there's our picture. There are a couple of different programs that you can use when it comes to steganography. My personal favorite is StegSeek. And that is because if the information hidden inside that picture is password protected, what this will do is we can run RockU or whatever password list we want to use against it, and it is incredibly fast. So we will do that with, so we're going against the file of Brooklyn99, and we are using user share word lists RockU, and we literally just hit enter there. And look at that, literally that quickly. Oh, okay, the passphrase was admin. Not too difficult for it to figure that one out. That's probably about third in the list. But we have got a file name of note.txt, which has been put into the Brooklyn99 JPEG out. So let's cat you, Brooklyn99 JPEG out. Holt's password, fluffydog12@99. Enjoy. Fantastic. Okay. So looks like we can now SSH in as Holt. So let's do that. So Holt at there. And his password is this lot here. fluffydog12@99. And there we are. Lovely. We are in as Holt. So let's just reconfirm. There we are. We have the user.txt. Excellent. So let's see what permissions Holt's got, shall we? So if we do sudo tag-l, and Holt can run the following commands on Brooklyn99. Nano, okay, which is your in-terminal editor. My personal favourite. I know a lot of people prefer Vim or V. I like me nice and simple Nano. So we can do a very similar approach to as we did with Jake. So we can do sudo nano root/root.txt. And there we are within Nano. And we've got that. So we can just exit out you. We're not going to edit anything. And again, we could just leave it there. Let's see if we can escalate ourselves up to root using GTFO bins. So if we come back out, we have a look for Nano. Let's have a look at what they reckon for the sudo. So again, if the binary starts to run as a super user by sudo, it doesn't drop the privileges. Now, this one, the previous one, obviously we just copied and pasted the whole thing and it just worked. This one, you actually have to do step by step. So we will do sudo nano. So it just opens up Nano. And then what you need to do is we need to do Control R and Control X. And what I'll do is I'll copy and paste that one. So Control R, then Control X. Control X, and then Command to execute is that one. And then we hit Enter. And now, you can see just down here, it's now turned into the hash. If I now do, who am I? And I am root. If we just enter through, there we go. And again, we can just cd to root. And there is our root.txt. So there it was. That was Brooklyn99. We had 2 different routes to get ourselves to the user flag and 4 different ways of getting the root flag. Not a hugely tricky one, but a really good introduction to GTFO bins and all the fantastic information that they've got held there. So, if you found this one useful, give the video a thumbs up. If there's any other TryHackMe rooms that you'd like me to have a go at, leave a note in the comments. And until next time, look after yourselves, look after each other, and happy hacking.